Yo, what up everyone, it's your boy Goose and welcome to the channel. In this video, we're talking about the Pokemon Custom Yu-Gi-Oh deck. Now this series was high on my list on decks to create, and with so many ways to go about it, I figured this is the best way I can make these cards. Now if you want to go straight to the cards, there's timestamps in the description below. These cards will also be on Duelingbook, so you can use these cards in your own strategies as well. If you enjoy the content, feel free to like and subscribe to know when I post my next video. Now if you don't know, Pokemon is short for Pocket Monsters. Created in 1996, it began as a Game Boy game where players catch and battle creatures. It grew into the world's largest grossing franchise, with top-selling video games, long-running anime, trading card game, and global merchandise. Iconic characters like Pikachu and hits like Pokemon Go and Pokemon Pocket have made it a pop culture giant. Now these cards will need some foundation, so the rest and future cards have something to work off of. First are the monsters. The monsters in this video will have the Pokemon typing in order to keep things cohesive and open for potential cards in the future. Next, they will need cards like the Pokeball or related cards to summon them to the field. Special Pokemon like legendaries and non-evolution Pokemon may be different from this. But lastly, tools and items will be the spells and trap cards like the Pokémon Center or the Pokémart. But with that being said, let's go on with the cards. Starting off, we have the iconic Pokeball. Special summon one level 4 or lower Pokemon monster from your hand or graveyard. You cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except Pokemon monsters. Once per turn, you can banish this card from the graveyard, special summon one level 4 or lower Pokemon monster from the deck. You can only activate each effect of Pokeball once per turn. Next we have the Master Ball. Special summon one Pokemon monster from your hand or graveyard. You can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon one Pokemon monster from your extra deck or banishment. You can only activate each effect of the Master Ball once per turn. Next we have Revive. Target one Pokemon monster that's banished during your graveyard, add it to your hand. Next we have the Continuous Trap, the Pokémon Center. You can activate each effect of the Pokémon Center once per turn. Target one Pokemon monster that's banished during your graveyard, select one of the following effects. Gain life points to its level or link rating times 100, or shuffle it into the deck. If you control no monsters, you can destroy this card, special summon one Pokemon monster from your graveyard. Next is the continuous spell, Pokémart. Each effect of the Pokémart is once per turn. You can pay 500 life points, add one spell or trap card that mentions a Pokemon monster from your deck to your hand. You can also discard one spell or trap card to gain 500 life points. Next is Rare Candy. Target one monster you control and select one of the following effects. Either tribute the target and special summon one Pokemon monster from your hand or deck that the target mentions with a higher level. Or, the target gains 1000 attack and defense. Closing out the spell and trap cards, we have the Pokédex. Select one of the following. Add one Pokemon monster from your deck to your hand, or if you control no monsters, you can add two Pokemon monsters from your deck to your hand, but you cannot add monsters from your deck to your hand for the rest of the turn. You can only activate the Pokédex once per turn. Now starting with the monsters, we have Riolu. This card can only be special summoned by a card effect that mentions a Pokemon monster. If this card battles a monster, this card gains 500 attack and defense. Once per turn, you can add Lucario from your deck or banishment to your hand. If this card's attack is 2000 or higher, as a quick effect, you can tribute this card and special summon Lucario from your hand or graveyard. Now the idea of evolving through friendship and gaining enough attack seems best in my opinion for this card to evolve through friendship. Having it activate its effects first instead of tributing itself as a cost is to cater to like pressing the B button to stop evolution in the games. So if a card like Effect Bigger negates its effect, essentially, they would be stopping the evolution and it will still be on the field. Next is the monster Lucario. This card can only be special summoned by a card effect that mentions a Pokemon monster. This card's summon cannot be negated. If this card battles a monster, this card gains 500 attack. If this card has 3000 or higher attack, once per turn as a quick effect, you can banish this card until your next standby phase, destroy all monsters your opponent controls. With this card, I wanted to keep its effects of Riolu where it continues to get stronger. I also wanted to implement its signature Aura Sphere move as an effect, similar to its special move in Smash Bros. Where he uses it to defeat its enemies. I also considered its way of charging an Aura Sphere by way of gaining attack. So when it reaches a threshold, it can release it by destroying all monsters. Next we have the starter Pokemon, Charmander. This card can only be special summoned by a card effect that mentions a Pokemon monster. When this card is normal summoned, inflict 500 life points to your opponent. If this card destroys a monster by battle, as a quick effect, you contribute this card and special summon one Charmeleon from your hand, deck, or graveyard. It cannot attack this turn. Next is the evolution of Charmander, Charmeleon. This card can only be special summoned by a card that mentions a Pokemon monster. Once per turn, when this card is summoned, inflict 1000 life points to your opponent. If this card destroys a monster by battle, as a quick effect, you contribute this card and special summon one Charizard from your hand, deck, or graveyard. It cannot attack this turn. Next we have the main monster, Charizard. This card can only be special summoned by a card effect that mentions a Pokemon monster. Once per turn, when this card is summoned, inflict 1500 life points to your opponent. If this is the only Pokemon monster in the main monster zone, this card can attack directly. If this card destroys a monster by battle, you can destroy one spell or trap card your opponent controls. Closing out the main monsters, we have the mascot, Pikachu. This card can only be special summoned by a card that mentions a Pokemon monster. If this card is targeted by a battle or card effect, your opponent's next attack is negated. Now starting with the extra deck, we have the Link 1 monster, the mythical Mew. This card can only be special summoned by a card that mentions a Pokemon monster. When this card is Link summoned, draw one card. This card is unaffected by card effects. Once per turn as a quick effect, you contribute this card, special summon one Pokemon monster from your graveyard. Next is the Link 2 monster, Latios. This card uses 2 monsters including at least one Pokemon monster. When this card is Link summoned, you can destroy one monster on the field. This card can only be special summoned by a card effect that mentions a Pokemon monster. You can special summon this card from your graveyard if you control Latias. If co-linked with Latias, this card and Latias gains 1000 attack points. Next is Latias. Using 2 monsters including at least one Pokemon monster, when this card is Link summoned, you can destroy one spell or trap card on the field. This card can only be special summoned by a card that mentions a Pokemon monster. You can special summon this card from the graveyard if you control Latios. If co-linked with Latios, this card and Latios cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects. Closing out the deck, we have the Link 4 monster, Mewtwo. And using 2 or more monsters including at least 2 Pokemon monsters, this card can only be special summoned by a card that mentions a Pokemon monster. This Link summon card cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects. Once per turn as a quick effect, when your opponent activates a card or effect, you can negate the effect and destroy the card. If this card destroys a monster by battle, this card gains 500 attack points. And that does it for this video. Comment down below your favorite card of the deck. Let me know what cards can be added or which decks these cards can be splashed into. You might need them in Duelingbook. Like and subscribe to know when I post my next video. But with that being said, I'm sending positive vibes and kindness to everyone and keep things PG. Positively Goose. Bye guys.